Indeed it is, Hutto. Goldstein heading towards the Coventry end here at Etihad Stadium. A bounce that favours Trengo, but it's going to be Cunnington who's prolific in the middle.
Jason Johannesson started up on the half-forward flank. We'll be interested to see where he actually settles.
Higgins, as we said, returning. Gee, but which way is he going? Straight up and down. Bontempelli.
Oh, that hurt.
Help his conditioning. Thumping into the turf.
A committed jump at it, wasn't it?
He actually came out with a bit of a smile on his face there, McDonald.
He does most times.
Not sure that...
Needs support, gets it from Majak. Atley goes wide to Cunnington. Cunnington down the line. This has got to be good. And taken over the line. Now, how's that going to be construed?
Jared Waite's done this because that's what he tends to do. He has these little sort of brain fades where he thinks, I'm going to make him earn that, and he's damn lucky it's not.
Around the perimeter.
Ben Brown his own.
And look at, great work. The absolute death by Cordy. Ben Brown would gobble this up. Just had to open the mouth, but...
In hindsight, Ben Brown...
Walker, the meat in the sandwich for the Kangaroos. Bontempelli at the back to Daniel. Disposal number 11.
Good
finds
play.
Dunkley running through the middle. Dunkley goes wide at a Roughhead. Roughhead's almost down to the half-forward line. Cheeky little pass is good. Tory Dixon takes the mark.
Well, finally...
50 out.
Tough time since he was a brilliant player in their premiership year, but he hasn't lost his ability, I hope, to kick goals. 5 straight for the year so far. Kicking from 51 metres. The drop punt is on its way. Goal umpire does not move, and Dixon retains his perfect record.
North Melbourne forwards.
Crunch.
That's Brown, that's Zeeble, and that's Wade, all jumping at the same footy. Now, there's collateral damage there to Cordy, but from a North Melbourne perspective, that ain't what they want.
So, a blood rule as he makes his way from the ground. Goal kickers so far in a low-scoring start to this game.
To Goldstein. Oh, he's...
Stinger.
Yeah, OK, Hunter comes away to recover.
Got to fight back now, the Dogs. Got to find an avenue, doing everything right between the arcs, but inside that 50.
Lipinski tips one in. Oh, is that 50 against Majak?
That'll help.
Yep, it is.
That'll help a lot.
So Shaki, fresh from his career best 3 goals last week, outside the 50. So it's not done yet. For a left footer. He's so close. Should put it through. And does. Just to inflate their hopes a little.
Continue your clearance domination because you can't mark the footy.
19.5 minutes gone, second term. Roughhead and Majak Door. Bontempelli bends it back and gets a much-needed goal.
Well, there's your MO right there. That's as simple as that. Side 50, 18-9 the clearances. Maybe that was the message of the coach Beveridge as he wanders back up with his chest puffed out.
Late in this quarter, the Kangaroos to stretch it out to 27. The urgency required now for the Bulldogs is immense. Lipinski flicks the handball. The Bont might have to do it on his own. Had 2 parts to play in that little passage. Finds Lynch just beyond the fit. Give it back, the Bont. Here's the third. The trifecta from the Bont. The Bulldogs number 4. What a blast! The star. That is the Bont.
When you try, they've only kicked 4 goals, the Western Bulldogs. They've been inside 50 27 times. They've kicked 4 goals, and he's kicked 2 of them.
Bontempelli up towards left half forward.
Oh.
Williams without it. Thrown towards Tory Dixon. And Williams has got a problem. McLean gives it back to Tory Dixon. He loves a goal. Good. He loves a goal, and he's got another one. Tory has 2.
Area, but then they had the numbers, the Western Bulldogs, and they're able to work. He took his eyes off the footy, which is not something...
Centre bounce. Trengove got up the highest. Higgins, no interference, or Trengove was paralysed, didn't know what to do, but somehow they get it forward. An opportunity beckons for Lynch, flicks it in. It's in good hands. Bontempelli to the top of the square, and Shaki takes the mark, and a terrific surge here at the start of the quarter for the Bulldogs. So Shaki to kick another. He drives it through. And they've made the start they needed to. 2 for Shaki after 3 last week.
Take nothing away from Majak. That was a sensational intercept mark.
Thompson to Williams. Tarrant in strife. loses it. McRae plays on quickly. He's got Johannesson just outside 50. Now the kick from on 50. This is going to be a big goal. They are right back in business, the Dogs. The first three.
So the Kangaroos start to drift back. They expect the long kick. JJ's just sitting there. No one's there pressing up. He can kick it from 45.
Some sort of test. Now Richards can go. He's had one. He's had a second on the charge. Wasn't sure what to do. Give it to the Bond. Why not? They're inside 50. There's a whistle. Advantage. Dixon. Oh, they're getting there bit by bit, and then it all comes unstuck. Leach. How hard was that? Lipinski. The file kicks the goal, and
You've got to run and carry the footy, and all this was heart-in-your-mouth stuff, but it means you're moving the ball, moving the defenders, and you get there in the end.
Well, the one thing I know about Richard...
Brown couldn't complete the mark. Zeeble over the top. Is this the reply? No, it is not. Desperate work on the last line. Caleb Daniel was slung over the boundary line in a 360, and in fact over the line for one behind.
Well, it's great play by the ball. Was in exactly the right position. He just needed to lean on Majak to protect the space, and he's got a shot at goal.
Here's Dunkley. Hurried kick. McLean. Long. McLean goals. Dogs hit the lead.
Well, this is unbelievable, Sandals. And non-plus, the coach, I'm not surprised. I think if you went...
Hunter gives it away to his ruckman on all fours, Trengo, but he gets it clear. Down towards the left half forward. McRae's doing the running. And taking it from Fergus Green, who goes down towards John.
Now, that's a smart kick. That's a really good kick. He had Mitch Wallace in his sights, but...
And he seems like yesterday he was a premiership star. Big kick, 45-degree angle, 45 metres out. Coming back, but a little too late.
It's hard.
No, he's got there. Well, they stood and watched it. And it's gone through. Jong's got his first, and the Dogs have regained the lead.
Now Richards receives, runs again. Doesn't quite know where he's going next. Caleb Daniel helps out. The little give. Cowers. He's a big kick. And that is a mighty strike.
Oh, Billy. Look at him.
They're as hot as they've been all year right now, the Dogs.
This is really exciting because they've adjusted to what they were doing wrong that led them to trail by 28 points.
To do in the next 30 minutes.
The Dogs have their biggest lead in the game so far. Advantage is paid. Hunter's going to send them charging forward again. Hunter goes in towards the pocket. 1-2 grabs. Boy, they're hot at the moment.
And Brad Scott not happy.
Not happy. Had a couple of shots at goal, Jared. He's kicked 2 behinds. Let's see if he can convert. Third time lucky for Fergus. Indeed it is. And the Dogs stretch their lead. And all of a sudden, there's a huge question mark over the Kangaroos. A deliberate approach. A drop punt.
Well, pump the bloke up.
Wide and not troubling the scorers. But what a quarter of football, particularly for the Bulldogs. They were 28 points down at the long break. They have stormed back into this match, and they go into the final term holding a 5-point lead. Out wide, McLean and McRae, both there, both prolific. It's McLean who takes it, kicks down towards the half-forward line. Fergus is there again. He's everywhere, Fergus Green. Spears one in towards half-forward. Is this going to result in a score? The ball is high, goes in towards full forward. The mark has been taken by Tory Dixon.
He's very good. It's a bad matchup. He just got rid of Big Goldie.
Dixon has kicked, Jared, 7 goals without a miss this season.
That sounds like a Moz to me, Sandy.
He's not going around the corner either, Jared. You'll be pleased to see.
He's 15 metres out. Slide angle. He gets the goal. The Dogs extend their lead.
Wow, what a challenge now for the Kangaroos. They do. And that is allow the opposition to believe that they're a big, big chance. And right now they're playing as good a footy as they've played for a long time.
Again, such is his conviction that he can get through and blast it out wide for the old-timer. Morris versus Wood. Goes to ground. Dale, it's going to be hard, but he's outnumbered. But he's always found a way, Dale Morris. And that's why they love him so much, the Bulldogs fans. That's 100% Dale Morris. He never gives any less.
Oh, that sums him up right there. 2 on 1.
Yeah.
Had to hive it, had to hold it up, and he did. Innocently. They played so smart after half-time.
Caleb Daniel wastes every possible second he can. Drives it down the line. Green flew. McMillan. There's only one way now for the Kangaroos. But it's just not going to happen for them. It goes over the line and out of bounds. And you can see the look of despair on the face of Brad Scott. He will be a proud man tonight. In game 250 for Dale Morris. They've done it for the veteran. Bulldogs through and through. And this is one of their most famous. What a win from where they were. They can celebrate with Dale Morris. And look at the contrast of emotions between the two sides.
For a best on ground game.
Nice touch here by his teammates as Dale Morris is cheered from the ground in game number 250. What a war horse he has been. And what a game to do it in.
And Andy had some fantastic moments too.
Will they be pumped for the song?